played with three good young players today that I think you're going to be hearing a lot about in the near future. I played with obviously Ricky Fowler, who you've seen on the Ryder Cup team, but also Peter Uihlein and Brooks Koepka, who have been playing over in Europe, developing their skills and winning. And I think it's that type of mentality of winning, going out and not being happy with a top 10, but taking on that extra risk and trying to create those shots to make birdies to win. I think those are some young players that you'll see in the coming years, because at their early age, when they just turn pro, they're learning how to win and how to play aggressively and confidently and win. And I think there's no substitute for that. I think one is I feel an obligation to help young players the way players ahead of me helped me and gave me the opportunity to play the PGA Tour and gave me knowledge on how to handle certain situations. But a lot of it is selfish too, because I get a lot out of playing with these young guys. I see how good they are and it motivates me. I see how they look at the tour in such appreciation for all the amenities that we have and the quality of life and the ability to do what we do. And it gives me a youthful energy as well. It makes me appreciate something that I've been doing for 2 decades now, but I see it through younger people's eyes, and it makes me continue to appreciate what I have. Yeah, I just reiterate what I had said last week about having something unusual happen where the Sunday before the US Open I had dreamt that I had already won it, and it took me a minute to realize when I woke up that it was Sunday morning, not Monday morning, and I didn't have anything like that in regards to the British, no, and I just remember feeling that elation, and for the past week or two that I've had the claret jug, I've been looking at it when I wake up just to make sure that it wasn't a dream, because that tournament really has meant a lot to me. I didn't realize that for the past however many years how important that event was to me. But for years I've been saying that it would be the greatest accomplishment of my career if I was able to win that tournament. Having to learn different style of shots, having to play links golf when I only get to play there a couple of times a year, to be able to come out on top of that event has meant a lot. And every morning I wake up to make sure that it's not a dream and look at that jug, because I did have that weird thing happen at the US Open.
Phil will stay right over there on
I think the identity of the PGA Championship changes quite often. You have the Masters that is going to be a course that length is a big factor, that there's no real rough to speak of, and short game is a big part of it, as well as aggressive play trying to reach par fives. And you have the US Open, which is going to be brutal rough, lightning quick greens, and that you'll have to play control golf, get in the fairway, try to make pars. And obviously at the British Open we have link style golf where the ball runs out and greens usually aren't as fast, although this year was an anomaly, but usually they're not quite as fast. You get windy conditions. In the PGA, sometimes we play modern golf courses like Valhalla or Whistling Straits where you can shoot really low. Sometimes we play classic courses like Oak Hill where it's more like a US Open setup, but without the control of par, without trying to make par the winning score all the time. And I think that what that does is allow young players a chance to be aggressive and not have to play so defensive. I feel like the setup that we have this week really identifies the best player, because it's not overly penalizing for a slight miss in, it's really penalizing for a big miss, and it gives you a chance to make birdies and get great shots. I just think it's a wonderful setup. I guess I don't really have a great answer as to why we've had first-time winners here, because it really favors the guys that are playing well and experienced. We have a lot more fun together than I think is realized, especially in the team events. We've been partners in the ping pong room. We've done quite well together as partners. We have good little banter on the bus rides, and we've gotten along really well in the team environments, and I look forward to those team events every year, because friendships and relationships, whether it's with Tiger or the young guys or or the older players that have been out here, those relationships really form and last a career during those team events. And when we are competing in these events, it's every bit as intense. And certainly my record doesn't stand up to what he's done in the game now. It's just incredible what he's accomplished with the number of wins, the number of majors, and the consistency that he's shown throughout his career. But in the last 5 or 6 years, I've had some pretty good success head-to-head, and I feel like he brings out the best golf in me. He's a great motivator for me. He's helped me work hard. He's helped me put forth the effort to try to compete at the highest level year in and year out. And I've loved competing against him. He's really brought the best out of me, especially when we've been paired together. And I hope that we're able to play together for many more years. Right now, just 6. That's all I'm thinking about. But I don't have a specific number that I want to end my career. I don't think it's any surprise, because I've mentioned it, that I would really like to have won all 4, and I'm 1 leg away here with the US Open. And I've been closer a number of times, and I'll be putting in extra effort every year now for that particular event especially. That would be the one thing that I think is fairly obvious. But there's not a specific number. And I feel as though I've started to play my best golf in the last 4, 5, 6 months. I feel like I've keyed in on 2 areas that I've struggled with for years, which is putting and off the tee. I feel very confident in my ability to get the ball in play off the tee, and I feel very confident in my ability on the greens now, where I've turned weaknesses into strengths, I believe. And this serves me well in major championships, and I feel like now the major championships are possibly the easiest ones for me to be in contention and maybe even win, because of those weaknesses becoming strengths. More than the total number of majors, I think it's having won 3 of the 4 now. I think the British Open really changed some of my perception of myself as a player. I think that had I wanted another green jacket, that would not have done the same thing as winning the Claret Jug has done, because in my mind it is an accomplishment in my career that makes me more of a complete player, or proves that I've become more of a complete player, for the simple reason that that style of golf I have not had much success with over the past 20 years that I've played professionally. I've finished 2nd and 3rd there just twice out of 20 events. And to finally have won that and break through and play some of my best golf ever on that final round, that kind of changes the way I view myself and my game, more so than just a major championship that I had already won. I love what I do. I mean, I love playing golf and I love competing. I've always been a competitive person, whether it's competing head-to-head with Tiger or anybody else on tour, having our little friendly matches today. I love that kind of competition, and I've always loved it since I was a kid. I knew that I wanted to play professional golf, and now that I am playing professional golf, I'm more motivated than ever to work hard to succeed, because I can taste some of my best golf coming out. I can feel it, and that has motivated me to continue to work hard and enjoy it. And I'm enjoying it more than I ever have. I have a practice facility in my yard now that I enjoy walking out after dinner and hitting some putts and hitting some chips, hitting some balls. I find it very calming and very serene being out there doing what I've always loved to do. And so I'm as motivated as ever to compete and to play and get the best golf out of me to hopefully play against Tiger when he's playing his best. That would ultimately be the goal. If I can play as well as I can at the same time he's doing the same, I would love that opportunity.